Today we're going to do a review of something that I think is really cool. This is the Evan Williams American Hero Edition. Let's get into it. Hello everyone, welcome back to Brad's Bourbon Reviews. I'm Brad, and today I got a bottle that I'm curious to try. I don't particularly think it's going to be something that I gravitate towards personally, but the story behind it is really, really cool. This is the Evan Williams Small Batch American Hero Edition, and this bottle comes with this cool little tag. I'm actually going to do something I don't typically do. I'm going to read straight up off this because I think this is important. It says Evan Williams Small Batch 1783. This special edition Evan Williams 1783 Small Batch Bourbon has been thoughtfully selected by our 2024 Evan Williams American-made heroes, dedicated their lives to serving country and community. Take a look at the 2024 class of American-made heroes down below. Brooke Jackson Kahn, a U.S. Army in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. Shout out to Brooke Jackson Kahn, my neck of the woods. Well, I live in Florida now, but used to be around that. Michael Kimona, U.S. Navy from Bowie, Maryland. Jas Booth, U.S. Army, Winchester, Virginia. Jamie Paxton, U.S. Air Force. Shout out to the Air Force. My grandfather was a pilot in the Air Force. Steve Jones, U.S. Marine Corps, Russell, Massachusetts. And Thomas McNamara, U.S. Air Force, retired. I apologize. Jamie Paxton is also retired. Thomas McNamara, U.S. Air Force, retired from Spanaway, Washington. And I guess these guys went in and they picked a small batch because it's not a single barrel. So I'm assuming they just picked their favorite of the small batches. And they put it in this cool bottle, and I think that's really, really cool. And the rickhouse sites for this one were Cox's Creek, Warehouse 3, and Heaven Hill H1, but that's where the batches were from. So I don't really know how you pick a small batch. I assume maybe they had a few options of blends or something, and this is what they picked. So again, not something I would typically buy, but I think supporting the troops is very important, and I think it's really, really cool that Evan Williams does stuff like this. So I would encourage any distillery to do something like this. These people put their lives on the line for our freedom, and I think it's pretty important to do something to repay that. Oh, it's a screw cap. I was expecting it to be a cork. I'm not a huge Evan Williams fan. I like Evan Williams bottled and bond, but I don't really go to many 90 proof whiskeys, and bourbons. Usually Eagle Rare and Buffalo Trace are kind of my go-tos when it comes to something like that. I wanted to do this video, and I wanted to give something that I haven't tried before a shot. I've never had Evan Williams 1783 before, and why not go with one that was selected by some American heroes as my first introduction to it. So let's give it a nosing. Let's see how we feel. Yep, that's Heaven Hill. It smells like peanut juice. Peanuts all day. Peanuts and walnuts. A little bit of sweetness in there. Kind of reminds me of like a pecan pie, maybe. Yeah, like a pecan pie. Yeah. It's a little ethanol-y for 90 proof. I wish I could give more notes on the nose, but really it's just kind of pecan pie. You get a little bit of the crust in there for the pecan pie and nuts. That's pretty much it. A little bit of vanilla in there as well. Not a bad nose. Not a bad nose at all. Let's give it a mouthing. Let's see how we feel. Oakiness, peanutiness. Not peanut. I shouldn't say peanut. It's more of like a walnut. Pretty dry. Not very sweet on the palate. Yeah, everything carries over from the nose to the palate. It is like almost 1-to-1. It smells like it tastes. It tastes like it smells. Not bad at all. Not my go-to profile, though. So I'm glad that these people like this because it is obviously something that they wanted and selected. But this is not something I would gravitate towards. Glad I bought it. I'd buy 5 more if it's going to help support these type of things. But not something that I would go to drink it. But I'm glad I have it. I'm glad it's on the shelf. And yeah, kind of a short review, but there's really not much to say about this one. What would I rate this? I would give it like a 5.5. I think it's pretty middle of the road. Heaven Hill stuff at this proof doesn't really work for me. I like a lot of their higher proof stuff, but this is just not great. It's just not for me. It's just not for me. And I'll review anything and I will give everything a shot. This is just not something that I would typically gravitate towards, and probably won't even finish this pour. If you like Heaven Hill and you want to support the troops, this is a good option. If you don't like Heaven Hill, still go and support Evan Williams for doing stuff like this. I think this kind of stuff's important. So that's the review. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you leave a like and comment down below. Also, I started a Patreon if you're interested in that. There's a few tiers still available, so make sure you go and sign up for that if you're interested at all. Make sure you hit subscribe, because if we can get 2,500 subscribers by the end of this year on YouTube, I'm going to do a 3 allocated bottle giveaway. That's the review. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, cheers. A big thank you to all the Patreon supporters you see on screen right now.